Keep picking those heels up.
I can lift you up. I can show you what you want to see and take you where you want to be. You could be my love. Even if the sky is falling down, I know that we'll be safe and sound. We're safe and sound. I can feel your cup. You know the river won't evaporate. This world we still appreciate. You could be my love. Even in a hurricane around, I know that we'll be safe and sound. We're safe and sound. We're safe and sound. We're safe and sound. I can show you love. In a tidal wave of mystery, you'll still be standing next to me. Be my love. Even if we're 6 feet underground, I know that we'll be safe and sound. We're safe and sound.
Rebend if you want.
I can lift you up. I can show you what you want to see and take you where you want to be. You could be my love. Even if the sky is falling down, I know that we'll be safe and sound. I can lift you up. I can show you what you want to see and take you where you want to be. You could be my love. Even if the sky is falling down, I know that we'll be safe and sound. We're safe and sound. We're safe and sound. We're safe and sound. We're safe and
Keep your heels going forward. 3 more. March it out. Here, go side to side this way.
meet me in a restaurant. Meet me on the top of the world. Meet me and we'll talk the language you love.
2 steps.
I'll meet you anywhere you want. I'll meet you on a foreign floor. Meet me and we'll float to the level above.
Great mind.
We could blow this existence right out into space and share the sweet isolation. Let's go there today, go today, go today.
Back to side to side.
Let's go, baby, come on, come on, come on.
Make it a hop over.
Let's go, baby, come on. You something now, I'm saying, baby, let's go. Will you listen to me? meet you at the end of the block. As long as we can talk the language of love.
We're gonna walk forward with this.
Take you miles again. Take you to the edge of time. Together we can reach for the heavens above.
Hold it here, just step forward back. Other way.
too late to whip it into shape. Shape it up, get straight, go forward, move ahead, try to distract it. It's not too late to whip it good.
4, 3, 2. Oh, other side. Switch leads. Sorry. March it out. Okay.
This ain't a song for the broken hearted. A silent prayer for faith departed. Gonna be the face in the crowd. You're gonna hear my voice when I shout it out.
Side.
It's my life, it's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live
More
a life.
time.
Who stood their ground? Tommy and Gina never back down.
Time. Single tap.
Tomorrow's getting harder, make no mistake. Love ain't even what you gotta make your own
On the knees on the
break.
side.
It's my life, and it's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live a life. Talking in your sleep, I hear the secrets that you keep.
Extend.
When you're talking in your sleep, I hear the secrets that you keep. When you're talking in your sleep, I hear the secrets that you keep.
Couple more. Set your weight down. Slay. Hot out here. Knock it out.
I don't know what to say, I'll say it anyway. Today isn't my day to find you, shying away. I'm coming with your love, okay. Take on me,
I'm upset. You can step side step and make sure your feet are coming off the floor.
It's okay to say after me. It's so better to be safe than sorry.
One more time. Hold it here. March out. Rock step. Try on this side. That's okay. Take out the cha-cha-cha. Just rock.
Things that you say, yeah, easy
Keep
life.
picking those feet up.
Play my
Shifting
worries
your weight.
away. Through all the things I've got to remember, shine away.
Take it backwards.
I'll be coming for you anyway. Take on me.
One more. Bring it in. March it out. Take your feet wide. Just give me a little side to side shift here. Nice and slow. Stretching that inner thigh. Push your hips way back. Way back. Way
Here in my car, I go safest of all. I can lock on my doors. It's the only way to live in cars.
One more time.
Here in my car, I can
Something really stinky off the ground, keeping your abs engaged. Back stays long. Squeeze the abs.
Here I come, where the image is down. Will you visit me, please? If I open my door in cars.
One more time.
Here I come, I know I've started to
Back to
think
the other
about
side.
leaving tonight. Although nothing seems right in
Shoulder
cars.
doesn't go this far. Just take it all the way up. Nine. shift your weight again, side to side.
So true, funny how it seems, always in time, but never in line for dreams. Head over heels, went toe to toe. This is the sound of my soul. This is the sound. I want to take it to the world. But now I've come back.
I'm going to bump up the tempo here for a second. We're going to do one more cardio.
Why do I find it hard
much as I love this song.
Oh, I want you to be safe.
Hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. Love game, intuition, play the cards with spades to start. And after he's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on his heart. Oh, 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 oh. I'll get him high, show him what I've got. Oh, 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 oh. I'll get him high, show him what I've got. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face. I wanna roll with him, my heart that we will be. A little gambling is fun when you're with me. Russian roulette is not the same without a gun. And baby, when it's love, if it's not rough, it isn't fun. Oh, 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 oh. I'll get him high, show him what I've got. Oh, 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 oh. I'll get him high, show him what I've got. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face. I won't tell you that I love you just to hug you, cause I'm bluffing with my muffin. I'm not lying, I'm just stunning with my lovely stunning. Just like a chick in the casino, take your bank before I pay you out. I promise this, promises. Take this hand cause I'm mine. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Can't lie, no, we can't read on my poker face. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face.
Alright, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to turn it down all the way. And here. So we're gonna start strength and stability and mobility. So stick around. Cooling down, bones and balance. Take your elbows back. And reach up. Reach across your body, nice and slow here. Really reach, stretch that back out. Two more times. Bring your hands to your thighs. Just stretch through the back. So tilt your tailbone, lift your forehead, and then drop your tail, drop your chin. Reverse that again. And back up. One more time. Reverse. Roll all the way up. Shift your hips side to side, pushing out, stretching out the sides of the legs. Now make a half circle with those hips. So you're coming forward and pushing back. One more time. Bring it back around. Now go the other direction. So make a little smiley face with your hips. Back into the center. March this out. So just a regular march here. Nice and small. We're going to march forward for 3 and back. 2, 3. Forward and back. So it's kind of a march, step, or a walk. Getting that cadence. Working on foot placement when you're walking, keeping your eyes looking ahead, not looking down at your feet, shoulders back and down. One more time. And now step side to side. We're going to take 3 steps this way and 3 steps the other way. You can always slow down if you need to here. One more time each side. Back to that side to side. Keep moving side to side. with your feet. Now I want you to travel forward, but keeping this side step. So it's almost like you're taking a slanted walk here, or traveling with that side step. Like a zigzag. Couple more times. Just working on getting comfortable moving your feet in all directions, keeping those shoulders back and down. Trying not to round forward here and look at your feet. You want to really open up through the chest. One more time, thumbs pointed up. Back to that march. Keep marching. Let's slow our march down a little bit. Add a little balance. That doesn't mean your leg needs to come up any higher. I just want you to pause for a second as you go from side to side and kind of take stock of where your hips are, where your shoulders are, where your feet are coming down, how your feet are coming down. So when you're marching, usually you set your toe down first and then your heel. When you're walking, your heel comes first, followed by your toe. So just keep that in mind too. Keeping that belly tight, chest lifted, shoulders stay back and down. Adding that pause. And then gradually, if you want, you can bring the knee a little higher. One more time. Just back to that march. Take your feet a little bit wider. Make a little circle with your hips here. So sometimes, and I do this a lot myself, if I'm walking and I'm not paying attention and I'm not keeping my belly in and my shoulders back and down, my tailbone starts to creep up here. So I kind of hyperextend this way, and then my back starts to hurt, and my hips start to hurt too eventually because you're not in the right placement. So you really want to make sure if you're out for a walk, you want to always kind of check in with what's happening down here, and you just want to kind of tuck those tailbones under a little bit as you're walking, just to kind of prevent that back from coming up and putting pressure on that low back, getting tight. Now I gotta let somebody in here. So we're still marching and walking. If you have the room where you're at right now, I want you to start walking forward and back again. So just do a regular walk, as many steps as you can fit in your space, forward and back. Try not to look down. And we're actually going to start looking side to side with this walk. So you're walking forward, looking side to side, coming back, trying to stay in a straight line, forward, and back. Keeping the neck loose, keeping those shoulders rolled back and down. Make sure you're controlling this. Go as slow as you need to prevent any imbalances that will cause you to kind of start moving too fast in one direction. One more time. Take it back. Now march in place. Slow it down. Keep that head turned. See if you notice a difference from one side to the other. Keeping your right foot down, I want you to lift your left leg. You're just going to push your foot forward and back and forward. So if you have something to hang on to here, go ahead and find that and hold on if you need to. We're just staying balanced on this right side, lifting up through the hips. Two more times. Set the foot down. Shake out that standing leg a little. We're going to switch sides, pushing forward and back. Neighbors are having some target practice out here. 4 more. Last time. Set your foot down. Shift your weight from side to side, pushing out through the hips, getting a nice stretch again. We're going to take a little bit wider step here, and you're going to keep pushing those hips side to side. So you're lifting your hip up toward your armpit, pushing your tailbone back. Come back into the center. Now I want you to shift your hips back. So hinging at the hips, and then you're just going to shift your weight to one side. You'll get a little bend in that knee. Doesn't need to be a big one. Just shifting side to side. Pushing the hips back like you're sitting in a chair. Keeping the thighs really strong. So your weight is in that heel on the side of the bent leg. And your hips are going back. So you're not starting out here with your arms coming down and reaching forward and pushing forward into this hip this way. You want to sit back side to side. Squeezing that leg as you come up. Push through the heel. Push all the way up. You're going to tighten up the whole back of your leg and your glute in order to come back up and across. Let's do 2 more. Back into the center. Turning those toes out. Bring your arms up. And you're just going to pull your elbows down as you bend your knees slightly and come back up. If your knees are bothering you, don't bend them too much, but really try to open out through the hips. So even if you're not going very far down with your knees bending, you're still squeezing those thighs, pushing them out and squeezing the back of your legs to get down even just a little bit and then back up. I guess this isn't what I started doing with my arms. It's okay though. Dropping the tailbone down, opening up those hips. Four more times. Turn your toes back in. You're going to bring your hands out in front of you, keeping your elbows in, open and close. keeping the abs tight. Four more. Arms down at your sides. Now we're going to reach side to side. Oh, my phone is too hot. I have to move things around here. Sorry. Doesn't work. Okay. So my phone and my computer are in the sun right now. They don't like it. Still opening and closing. Two more. And march that out again. With this march, you're going to tap back. So with this tap back, take your time. Pick that foot up and set it back. If you need to hang on to something, please do, because I want you to get that full extension through the leg, stepping back together. Really focus on picking up your whole foot and setting it down when you put that foot back and bring it back in, and finding that balance on the standing leg as you move through this. You can go even slower. Just take your time to really reach that foot back there. Get the confidence to push that foot all the way back and contract the muscles in your glutes, or contract the glutes. So the muscles in your butt, you really want to push that leg back there, bring it back in, push back, bring back in. Feeling that full extension. We're going to go one more. And then set that foot back there and hold it there. So again, hanging on to something. If you need to here. So your foot is pushed back. Now just feel this leg. Just kind of start to notice what happens if you squeeze your butt cheek. You're tightening up that back of the leg and the glute. Just lift and lower. So squeeze and the toe comes up and lower. Squeeze your glute, relax. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Keeping those hips pointed forward. We're not going very high. The only movement is coming from shortening those muscles in the back of your leg and in your glute. Two more. Set that down and switch sides. So just find that extension all the way back there, and then just tighten up the glute, let it go. Tighten, relax. Tighten, relax. Squeeze, let go. You're still keeping your belly tight though, because if you keep your belly tight, then as you squeeze, that's going to stop, again, that low back from getting really tight, because when you pull that belly in, that stretches out the bottom part of your spine. Squeeze the glute. 3 more. One more time. Set it down and just shake it out. So you're pushing your knees forward now, lifting those heels up one at a time. Rolling through the balls in the bottom of the feet. Lift both heels up, set them down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So just like on Wednesday, try not to rock too far forward. You're trying to go straight up. This is the last one here. Set your heels down. Now lift the top of your foot up toward your shin. This time we're alternating. Nothing's moving except the top of that foot. So you're lifting your foot up by tightening up these muscles in the shin, in front of your shin, or across your shin. Keep doing that. So lifting top of the foot, strengthening those shin muscles, trying to prevent that drop foot. One more time. Set the toes down. Now bring your feet out about hip width apart, turning the toes out. Arms come up again. You're just going to touch your fingertips to your shoulders. If that doesn't work, just do a regular biceps curl. Here, if you can lift the arms, pull your shoulders back and down. Fingertips to shoulders and extend. Again, try not to hyperextend that back. So tuck the tail under, but do open up the chest. Nice long neck. Push your chin back. Don't look down. Rolling those shoulders back. 2 more. Now come halfway here. So you're kind of in a goalpost position, and then bring one arm down and up. So again, if this doesn't work, elbows here is fine. Just go as far as you can. You've got a wall that you can back up to here. This is a great way to stretch out those shoulders and the rotator cuff muscles, so your pecs. One more time. Bring both arms down. Shake your shoulders out a little bit. Roll them back. Roll them forward. And you're going to turn your thumbs up at a diagonal. So your thumbs are kind of a 45-degree angle from your body. One at a time, I want you to lift that thumb up and then thumbs down and switch. Only go as high as you can get your arm to go up without your shoulder shrugging. So if you start to come here, I want you to drop that shoulder and stop lifting the arm. Just go as high as you can, keeping the shoulders out of your ears. Lift and lower. Trying to get that full mobility. Last one here. Bring your hands together here. Now open all the way back. So you're going to go as far back as you can, really squeezing those shoulder blades back and down, and then come back in. So opening, squeezing those shoulder blades together like you kind of squeeze a piece of paper in between your shoulder blades, and come back down. Squeeze, and down. Again, you're keeping your back from tilting your tailbone from tilting up too much. So keep that low back extended. Drop the tailbone, pull the belly button in, but still, as you open, you want to push those shoulders back and down, like you're trying to stick them in your back pocket, and come back. Do 4 more. Squeeze, hold. Keep the squeeze, even when your arms come back to the center. Squeeze, come back. 2 more. Last one. Hold it here. Now just pull your elbows in toward each other. Pull back. Pull back. So again, you're drawing those shoulder blades down your back. Lifting the lat. One more time. Bring the arms down. Shake your shoulders out. Bring your feet together. Just tap side to side. One more time. Hold this one out to the side. I want you to tap forward, side, back, and in. Forward, side, back, and in. So if you have to slow down here, that's fine. But I want you to, again, to get that full extension all the way around. And if you're holding on to something, that's great. Lifting up through the standing hip. One more, like this. We're gonna switch sides, and then we're gonna do the same thing, only you're gonna try to bring that foot up into the air. So forward, or no, yeah. Forward, side, back, and in. Forward, side, back, and in. See, my hips are staying forward here, and they're not moving around. The only thing that's moving is the top of my leg bone in that hip socket and my mouth. 2 more. So on this side again, we're going to come up. You're going to lift that leg, and if this works for you, you're going to still keeping everything stable except for that leg bone. Come around and back. Around and back. Around and back. So you can do this keeping your foot on the floor or close to it if you're still having some challenges with balance, or you can stick with the tap, but focusing on keeping that standing leg really strong. Finding that balance if you can. And working through that whole hip complex. One more time, keeping the belly tight again, always. Bring it around, set it down. Shake out that standing leg, switch sides. So lifting that foot, it's just a couple inches, maybe even just an inch off the floor. Coming around and back. One more time. Bring it in. Shake it out. I'll check the time here. Okay. Marching out. So push those hips side to side. Stretch them out a little bit. Big march. Bring those hands up in front of you here. We're going to push our heels out. So you're going to step with the heel, pull it back. And I want you to push your hands forward and pull them back. So when you push these hands forward, pretend like you're shoving something away from you. Squeeze your pecs and squeeze the backs of your arms. Really push and push. Keep going. Keeping the back muscles strong here. So those shoulder blades are still getting pulled back and down, and you're engaging your lats to help those chest muscles out as you push forward. Squeeze those arms all the way out, as far as they will go. One more time. Bring your hands down. Excuse me, my allergies are crazy. Push out to the sides, pull back in. Push out, pull in. Flexing your wrists as much as you can. Push out, pull in. Long spine, long neck, strong legs. Pull the belly in. Two more. Bring your arms to your sides. So we're going to step and tap back. It's just a little side step. You're stepping to one side, taking that foot back and across. If you've had hip surgery here, a hip replacement, you should know that you're not supposed to do this very far. So if you have hip precautions, just go straight back. If you're fine with your hips, you're going to come back out a little bit farther. And our arms are going to start moving. So the leg that's in front right now, my opposite arm is going to come out to the front, and then the back leg, the opposite arm is going to come out to the side. And then I'm going to switch. So pretend like you're holding some heavy weights here. Strong shoulders, strong arms. Keeping that core really strong too. So your abs are going to help you get these heavy weights lifted. Your pretend heavy weights. If you want a little balance challenge, pick that foot up in the air when you bring it back. Make sure you're taking your time and you're standing next to something that you can hang on to if you start to lose your balance. Remember that glute squeeze here. Keeping the glute strong as you lift that leg up into the air. Shoulders are strong, neck is long, belly tight, tailbone tucked. A lot of things to think about. But pretty soon, if you start thinking about them and correcting them every time you think about them, it becomes pretty automatic. 2 more times. Bring it down. Shake it out a little bit. Bring your feet together. I want you to just hinge at the hips. Give me a little bit of a bend in the knee and come back up. Squeeze that tail back. Squeeze your thighs. Come back up. Not a huge knee bend. And up. 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 Strong thighs. One more time. Hold that tail back there. Just pull your thighs up like you're trying to pull your kneecaps up into your hips. Really tighten up the fronts of the thighs. If you've got the mobility in your knees, go a little lower. Bring your hands to your chest here. And you're just going to rotate side to side, squeezing the tops of those thighs. Try not to let your knees shift forward and back here, keeping your hips even. Two more. Come all the way up. Take your feet wide again and then just shift those hips side to side. Let's go back to that full hip circle. Go the other direction. Let's roll our wrists out while we're doing this. Switch your wrist direction and just tilt your tailbone up and back. Engaging the core out, the ab muscles. Roll the shoulders out. Bring your elbows with you. So pretend like you're pulling something out of your pockets and there's nothing there. Somebody called this the no money stretch. One more here. Drop your chin to your chest and just roll forward slightly and then come back up. Roll forward, come back up. One more time, roll forward, come back up. Push that chin back and come side to side. Back into the center. Drop one ear to the shoulder. Let the other arm hang down long. Bring that chin in through the center, come to the other side. Come back up to the center. Take a step back with your left foot, push your heel down, and then lift up through the chest, lift up through the hips, and push that back hip forward. If you want, you can reach up here with the arm. Bring that arm down. Just step halfway up with that back foot, point the front toe to the ceiling, and sit back, stretching out the hamstrings. Tight. Set that toe down, go through, and then push the other foot back. Again, tucking that back hip under, lengthening all the way up through that side of the body, and reach up. Bring this arm down, step halfway up, point the toe to the ceiling, and sit back. Set that toe down. Roll yourself up. 3 minutes. And just shake out here. So, if you've got something to hang on to, go ahead and grab it. You're going to cross one leg over the other. And the back leg is the leg that you're going to kind of sit your weight into. So this foot can come up. You're going to push your hips back. And then rotate toward that front leg. Come back up, uncross, switch sides, push back. And come